we got. We all we need.
Here we go, Patriots!
We're back, baby. We're back.
New England Nation is back and ready to win another Super Bowl title. Hello there, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of New England Nation Championship Chase. I'm John Pierson along with Erik Dobratz, and over the next 30 minutes, we will get you ready for Super Bowl 60 in San Francisco.
Yeah, John, both teams have done all their media and NFL requirements. Now they are in game mode, coaching staffs and players working on game plans to win NFL's biggest prize. Let's start with how the Patriots and Seahawks got to Santa Clara, John.
Yeah, it's really been a dream season so far for the Patriots. After back-to-back 4-13 seasons, former Patriots player and head coach Mike Vrabel has really turned things around. A 14-3 regular season and then 3 hard-fought playoff wins. Vrabel, who won a Super Bowl as a Patriots player, is now trying to do it as a head coach and lead New England to a record 7th Super Bowl title. Second-year quarterback Drake May has played like an MVP, and a lot of new players have really stepped up. What's Vrabel's plan for success on Sunday?
I think I always try to use every experience that I've had over the course of close to 30 years in this league, whether that's as a player or a coach, to try to help the team and help individual players do their job. So, I think you have to be ready for every situation that occurs. The opportunities present themselves in these types of games. You only have so many opportunities to make a play, so you always have to be ready.
Vrabel and the Patriots have won 17 games so far, hoping for one more.
On the other sideline, the Seattle Seahawks, they've had a great season. Dominated the NFC West, beat the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams to find their way back to the Super Bowl. This is their 4th appearance in the big game. Remember, they won the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 48, over the Denver Broncos. And the next year, lost in the final seconds to the Patriots. So this is a Super Bowl rematch, 2 very different teams. For the Seahawks, it's just keep doing what they've been doing well.
Try to be so steadfast in your process, and at some point, things are going to change, things are going to be different, and what doesn't change is our principles and the things that we're about on like a moment-by-moment basis. So my message to the team is, hey, look, we're going to be loose and focused, and that's how we roll. So the loose part is we're going to enjoy it, we're going to enjoy these moments, we're going to love being with our friends and family, enjoying our teammates. We're also going to be focused, like that we have an accountability to our process and the things that we need to do to go play our best.
In the Super Bowl in just his 2nd season with the Seahawks.
Erik, both the Patriots and Seahawks have been good on both sides of the ball this season. The New England Patriots offense scored the 2nd most points with 490. Seattle 3rd most with 483. On the other side of the ball, a stingy Seattle defense has only allowed 292 points. That's the best in the league, while the Patriots come in 4th with 320 against.
When getting ready for the big game, it's always good to talk to someone who has experienced it as a player. Former Patriots quarterback Brian Hoyer played 8 seasons in New England and was the member of the Super Bowl 53 championship team. Hoyer says he knew during the preseason that this team had a chance to be special.
Yeah, I was probably one of the few, I hate to call myself this now, but one of the few media people who actually thought they could make the playoffs. I thought up to maybe 12 wins, a Super Bowl appearance. To me, it is probably one of the most unlikely teams to make it this far. But I think what happened was it was a new culture. It was a lot of new players. There was an injection of youth and veteran leadership. And Vrabel said it after they won the AFC Championship game. They believed before they saw the results, and that was able to kind of get things rolling.
You mentioned Mike Vrabel. He won the Super Bowl as a player for the Patriots, now trying to do it as a coach. You mentioned culture. Philosophy. What really has been the key to his success with this team?
Yeah, I think Mike is so unique because obviously he has the success as a player, a 3-time Super Bowl champion, but he also talked about he was basically every role during his career, right? He was overlooked, then he became a star player, a pillar of this Patriots dynasty. And look, he's got head coaching experience. I think he learned a lot in Tennessee, and then he talks about that year off in Cleveland and just spending time with the younger players. And I always find it so comical, like Drake May is younger than both of his sons. And so there's got to be a little bit relatability that has come into use this year. And the way that he approaches his players is he's hard on them, but he loves them up. When Steph Diggs said, I don't think any other coach could get this version out of me, I mean, that's a huge compliment. and bringing in the right people. I think Vrabel brought in a lot of guys that had previous relationships with and knew that they would mold and help build this culture. And then you mix that with the young talent.
You mentioned Drake May, 23 years old, second youngest quarterback to start a Super Bowl behind Dan Marino. What have you seen in his development this season? And you must have liked it if you thought this team was going to win 12 games with him under center.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's 23, but he acts like he's 33. I think that's the thing that I've always been impressed with him from the moment he took over as a starting quarterback last season. And then that was a rough season, but the way he handled himself, the way that he kept getting better. And then, when I see them sign Josh McDaniels, I was like, this is, a match made in heaven. You have Drake, who not only has the physical skill set, but clearly is mentally tough, can hang in there and do the things you want him to do. And Josh, challenged him to basically take on this offense and make it his own, and he's done that. So the sky's the limit for him. And I think you look at how does he handle himself in the post-game press conference? What are his teammates saying about him? And when Hunter Henry stood up last year and Austin Hooper said, this guy is the guy, there's probably no one I respect more in that locker room than those two tight ends. And when they're given those proclamations last season, I knew they had a chance to be something special. When you bring Josh McDaniels and his offense and his experience, and I think that gives the Patriots the edge this week. Not only Vrabel's experience playing in this game, but Josh McDaniels' experience calling a game like this. So I like everything that they got going for him this week.
Who do you like in the game and why?
Look, this is not me being a homer. I just watched this team all year, and they've gotten better and better. I think the Patriots win 27-24. I just think that they match up well against Seattle.
Brian, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to join us. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the Super Bowl.
All right, thank you.
Great stuff from Brian Hoyer. One guy who has a soft spot for both franchises is Nico Kudavides. He started his NFL career with the Seahawks in 2004, ended it in New England with the Patriots in 2012. Kudavides played in 2 Super Bowls, one with each team. The former linebacker built a nice football career and is succeeding in life after the game as well.
For almost a decade, Nico Kudavides followed NFL game plans and wore a helmet to work. He started his career with the Seattle Seahawks, staring down Tom Brady. It ended playing with Brady in New England and with his Patriots locker sandwiched between Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez. Football was good to him.
To start off in midget football, this kind of fat, chunky kid who wasn't very athletic, I just had a passion for the game. I really enjoyed the contact portion of the sport. It was something that allowed me to release a lot of anger or anything I had inside of me, and it was like my safe place.
Picking a winner this weekend is not a safe place for Kudavides, who played in a Super Bowl with both franchises.
I don't want to pick. I live in New England. I don't know, let them decide on the field.
Part Patriot, part Seahawk, he is rooting for a good game. These days, blueprints and a hard hat are part of Kudavides' day-to-day. Business sometimes similar to football.
It is. Different helmet.
Kudavides and his brother own and operate Scala Partners and Construction. Nico is also the project executive of construction, overseeing day-to-day activities. He played for Bill Belichick and Mike Holmgren. So what kind of boss is he?
I definitely probably fall a little more in line with how Bill ran the team. Everything's performance-based. I expect a lot out of our team. I'm tough on my employees, but at the same time, I want to reward them when they perform well.
Football provided Kudavides with valuable lessons, but it didn't set him up financially for life. Later in his NFL career, the Purdue grad focused on transitioning out of the game, and he's grateful he did.
People ask if you retire. Yeah, we retired from football, the sport we played, but you don't retire from life. There's a very small percentage of NFL guys who are uber wealthy that can have generational wealth. The rest of the guys are going to have to figure it out at some point. That is the struggle. How can you find fulfillment again from an employment standpoint that is going to allow you to be driven again, to be successful?
It appears Kudavides has found the blueprint for that. He may also have one more hit in him as well.
And I could pop these guys still, but I don't know for how long.
Still to come on Championship Chase, former NFL quarterback and current ESPN analyst Dan Orlovsky joins us to break down the big game.
Plus, a teenager from New England will be at the game as a guest of the NFL. We'll have her story when we come back.
I mean, it's definitely a blessing. I mean, it's something that every athlete thinks about and like dreams about ever since they make that decision that they want to be in the NFL. So, I mean, I think just this whole season for us has been like just a huge blessing, especially for me, especially like I've just been very grateful because I know the hard work that gets put in throughout the entire league. And still, sometimes you still don't get the results. So being able to take it this far with my team, I'm just very proud to be here, and we're gonna do everything we can to pull it out.
That's Patriots safety Del Pettis in just his second year in the NFL, and he's going to the Super Bowl. Not bad for an undrafted player from Troy University. John.
Erik, not a lot of star power in Super Bowl 60. Patriots quarterback Drake May could be emerging in that role. Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold or wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba may end up the hero. ESPN's Dan Orlovsky thinks the star of the game might end up being one of the defensive units. He likes Seattle to win it all.
Yeah, I think Seattle and the Rams were the two best teams in football this year. And I have felt that whoever won essentially the NFC was going to be the Super Bowl champion, just because the complete element of both those teams in Seattle obviously is that team. Seattle is really good on offense right now. The offensive line's playing well. The quarterback's as confident and as hot as he's ever been. Their play caller, Clint Kubiak, is going to be a head coach. He's in a rhythm. They've got one of the, if not the best receivers in football. And they have a defense that has dominated this year. So I think New England's defense makes it a football game. There's no question. I think they can win, but I favor Seattle because they're complete.
So that's what I was going to ask you. Tell me why New England can win. So it'll be the defense that kind of gives them a chance?
Yeah, so if you had to ask me, the number one way I still think you can affect Sam Darnold is you just get him to hold the football a little bit. Get him to not see clearly, play with a little bit of doubt. And what's that safety doing? What's that corner doing? Is it man? Is it zone? And so those thoughts start to enter his head. And sometimes he can just hold it for a fraction of a second longer. That's the strength of New England's defense. New England's defense plays this at times coverage where you're like, I don't know if it's zone. I don't know if it's man. I don't know if it's what we would call cover 2 or cover 4. You're constantly doubting as a quarterback, and the defensive line's been great. It's a well-coached unit, and I think if they can keep it close, it's because of their defense. They play it very kind of close to the vest and smart on offense, which is kind of what they've done this postseason, and make it a muddy, a dirty, a kind of grimy football game that's a fourth quarter game, and it's a one possession.
The Patriots offense, obviously a young quarterback, talented quarterback right there in Drake May. What can they do against this Seattle defense to try to put some points on the board? Are there any weaknesses you see on that Seattle defense?
There are no weaknesses, but I can tell you this. The number one thing you have to do is live in precision. You have to be precise against this defense, and they're very physical, all 11. Their secondary's physical. It's a little bit old school and like almost a Pete Carroll approach where they're going to live and die. If they throw a flag or two on for pass interference, great, but they're going to make you earn it. So I think, number one, precision. 2, Booty, Steph, Mac, Pop. Those guys got to match that physicality as well. Drake's got to make some plays with his legs. I wouldn't be surprised that there's more designed quarterback run. And so this is a big task, but they've obviously played 3 high-end defenses up to this point.
And let's talk about Mike Vrabel. First year back on the job, obviously the Patriots' roots there. But are you surprised Mike was able to take a team that went 4-13 back-to-back years and bring it to the Super Bowl the following year?
Anybody who tells you they're not surprised is lying. Vrabel's a great coach. I've called to his games for Monday Night Football. When you sit down and talk with him, you're like, yeah, you get it and you understand it. What they've done, though, JP, I think he's been the head coach for a little bit around 405 days. In just that time alone, I think January 12th of 25 until now, they've added something like 13 starters when it's coming to the draft and free agency. That's unheard of in the NFL. What he has done this year is historical. There's 2 key coaches in the history of the NFL that have taken over a team that won 5 or less games the season before and taken them to the Super Bowl within 2 seasons. Mike Vrabel is one, Do you want to guess who the second one is?
Bill Belichick?
Bill Belichick. Somehow, some way, they have replicated a lot of what we're accustomed to in the early 2000s. And so, he's a great coach, and they seem to just be getting started once again in New England.
After saying all that, you don't want to change your mind on your pick?
I live in Connecticut, so and most of my friends are Patriots fans. So no, I think it's a good game, but I do lean Seattle.
And a lot of people are leaning towards Seattle to win it on the field. They are the favorites in Super Bowl 60 by 4.5 points, Erik.
Yeah, at the Mohegan Sun Sportsbook, there's been a lot of interest in the Patriots. It's their first Super Bowl with New England in it, and the place will be packed. Super Bowl Sunday is the largest single betting day. This year, the forecast on legal wagers is $1.7 billion. By game time, FanDuel Sportsbook General Manager Brad Bryant expects to have more money in all-around bets on the Patriots. He likes Seattle in the under, but says there are some other interesting ways to make a wager.
So we have a wager called the scoregami, and the scoregami is if it's a unique score to any Super Bowl. So, if it's a score that ends up, let's say 15-0, and that's never happened before, the payout on that is 25-1. So that's a really cool bet. The other one that we've talked about is the kicker, the MVP kickers. One of them is 200-1 for the MVP. Another one is 100-1. And then the last one for the kickers is if any one of them kicks a 60-yard field goal, 60-plus field goal, 15-1. So those are some good wagers, and you can have some good fun and win some good money.
Kicker as MVP. This might be the Super Bowl for that, Erik. All right, that's going to do it for us right now. We'll be right back with more. Game day experience is a big part of the product the New England Patriots provide to their fan base. This year, Connor Geary, or Game Day Connor, was a rookie game day host for the team, bringing the energy from start to finish. He says his first season with the franchise was an A+. He wore many hats on game day. For him, that first impression every home game gets the adrenaline pumping.
I have the privilege of being able to do sort of the show introduction, which is a good 90 seconds to 2 minutes of sort of all of the things as we get close to kickoff. And I've worked hard to really make that a strong presentation for the fans, knowing it's you on field, all eyes on the video boards, and the camera right with you, and you kind of get to tell everybody and get them up to the level of energy that you want. That is an incredible rush.
65,000 people plus are like your best friend every Sunday in a home game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, John. I mean, everyone's there to support each other. Everyone's there for a common goal. And it's my job to make sure that they have a good time and that their sports entertainment dollar is well spent, and facilitating, so many of the different elements of the game presentation, the activations and the games and the trivia and the video board content and all of that. But everyone wants to have a good time.
Geary says he won't be able to catch the Super Bowl in person this year. He does hope there's another opportunity down the road. Erik?
More than 100 million people will be watching the Patriots and Seattle Seahawks on Sunday on Super Bowl 60. A flag football player from Connecticut will be watching the game in person.
17-year-old Isabella Jubri is going to the Super Bowl. The flag football star from Windsor is a guest of the NFL after being named one of 8 finalists for the NFL Latino Youth Honors Award.
Just to be this far, and have an opportunity to showcase what I've been working for the past 7-ish years is just really cool. And not something that I ever dreamed of.
Jubri, a multi-sport athlete, plays flag football for her high school team and club for the Lady Matrix in the Connecticut Flag Football League. Next year, she'll be playing flag at the collegiate level at Lees-McRae College in North Carolina. Her parents say all her hard work has really paid off.
It's inspiring for all of the girls here in the state of Connecticut. With some hard work and dedication, these opportunities can be available to anyone here, not just my daughter.
Honestly, I never dreamt this. I'm not from this country. I came here at a very young age, and first in my family to go to college here in the States. This is a really big deal.
She certainly has put in the work. She trains a couple days a week with former UConn running back Andre Dixon.
I'm happy for her, man. I'm happy that these girls are starting to get opportunities, to play at a high level. And with them bringing it to the Olympics, man, you know, the sky is the limit.
Jubri is looking forward to not only representing her state at the Super Bowl, but also her Dominican heritage.
To be able to share, like where I come from, being Dominican, there's not a whole lot of girls, Latina girls who play. So to be able to go and represent that entire community, like on a national level is really exciting.
And good luck to Isabella. Now, local businesses all over New England are preparing for a busy Super Bowl Sunday. New England Nation reporter Areta Odaya caught up with one restaurant owner in Massachusetts who is getting ahead of the demand.
Super Bowl 60 is approaching fast. The New England Patriots take on the Seattle Seahawks in California on February 8th. Fans are pumped, but so are staff at local restaurants for the game and for the rush.
We actually didn't think it was going to happen for a lot more years, and here we are. So we are gearing up, kind of a shocker, kind of a get ready quick kind of thing.
EB's restaurant in Agawam celebrating 40 years in business, so the Super Bowl rush is nothing new. But this year, some equipment expansion will be a priority to tackle high order volumes. The star of the show on the menu is wings, wings, and more wings.
It's all about the amount of chicken. It's all about boneless and on the bone. So we have to prep all that. So it's a lot of prepping and bagging and cutting and trimming and breading, and so it's a tremendous amount of work, thousands of pounds of chicken.
We got a behind-the-scenes look at what appetizers they're going to serve, and you know I had to try a bite. Ed and his team brought us some items from the menu that are pretty popular on a night like the Super Bowl. We have some wings, nuggets, fried mozzarella, and my favorite, potato skins. The restaurant is extending hours of operation on Super Bowl night, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. So grab your friends and family to see if the Pats will secure a 7th championship.
What do you like real quick?
27-17 Seattle. Sorry, New England.
Pats by 2. That's going to do it for us. Enjoy the Super Bowl, everyone.